Hello, fellow magical souls. I'm back on Mystical Illuminations, getting ready to break down this Scorpio full moon for you in my perspective, my view, right? So I'm probably going to title this a root chakra release, right? So if I have, hopefully I didn't change my mind, let me get into the root chakra for you a little bit and explain to you what I mean by this Scorpio full moon upcoming being a root chakra release, right? So what is the root chakra? It's the red chakra. If you look at if you just Google all chakras, 7 of them, right? Even though, just sidebar, there's like hundreds of chakras actually. But we follow the basic 7 in order to reach our ascension points within our body and learn our energy. So the root is the red. It's right here by the groin, right? The root chakra contains our powerful creative sexual force, which in my opinion is the most powerful energy that we have on this planet. It is the energy that births more people, right? And there is this war going on population, war on fertility, war on sex, and keeping you stuck in your root chakra. This war has been going on for a very long time. When we look at the media and the way that we sell products online, it's always sex sells, right? We learn this at a very young age. We learn how to use our creative force for something external. Now, this is what I kind of want to talk about when it comes to this full moon, because this full moon is in Scorpio, and if you don't know, the opposite of Scorpio is Taurus. So what are those two energies? Scorpio is sex. It's the hidden things that happen in the bedroom when the door is closed, right? It's your secrets. It's other people's money and other people's resources, other people's energy. Because if we understand that currency, money is energy, then we can really break it down to its simplistic form. Other people's energy, whereas Taurus is our energy. It's also the beauty in the earth, right? It's what's valuable to us. It's material things. It's flowers. It's beautiful music. It's tasty food. And let's talk about the energies, right? So on this full moon, we're gonna have just the moon in Scorpio, nothing else. And opposing it, we're gonna have the sun, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury. We're gonna have a bunch of planets holding down this Taurus, earth stubborn energy, right? Scorpio is also very stubborn, don't get it twisted. You know, when you desire something and you feel it in your root chakra, you stop at almost nothing to do it. You make up excuses to feed your addictions. And Taurus represents to me, especially with Venus there right now, a little bit of this addiction energy as well, right? What externally do we love? What kind of shows are we addicted to? What kind of food, sugar, candy, cakes, whatever, that make us feel good externally, but kind of manipulate our internal world? But feed this lower desire across the board, Scorpio, this lower passionate, I need to have this, and if I don't have this, if I don't merge energies with this person, I don't want anybody else, and I don't want to eat anything that's good for me because I absolutely want to taste the pleasure that comes from this milk chocolate bar or whatever the case may be, right? So the reason why I'm saying this is because, as we know, as I've said, a lot of people have been trapped in their root chakra for decades. We've been taught to stay there, never learning how to consciously breathe and pull all that energy up into our crown and beyond, right? So when we don't pull this energy up, that energy creates a shadow. That shadow that when we turn around and we see it on the ground and it freaks us out a little bit. That shadow that we haven't fully integrated into ourselves. And I know that you've heard a lot about shadow work and all of that on the internet. But the point being is that this full moon is illuminating what changes we need to make around our desires, what needs to up level itself. That's why Uranus is sitting next to Venus, in between Mercury, making us think about these things constantly. What are the desires that don't serve our highest, most godlike being? You know, that version, that reality that we so wish to live, where we're able to sustain money. Second house, make it for ourselves. You know, sometimes when you get caught up in the Scorpio side of things, in the desires, you don't ever have the ability to make your own money because you're constantly using the resources of everyone around you, and you're putting your creative force and your sexual force into these external things in order to just for a fleeting feeling instead of a long-term, slow build of wealth and abundance and beautiful things around us, in order to get those long-lasting visions where we're traveling the world and we're enjoying the sun. You know, we have to have money for those things, right? That's second house. That's eighth house too. Second house being the money we make for ourselves. And right now we're getting illuminated in this week up until this full moon on what's stopping us for that. Are we able to sustain a job or a business career for ourselves without changing what we want to do every 2 seconds? Because if you notice that you are stuck in your root chakra, you will notice the ability not to save, not to have a lot of money in your bank account. Not to say that you have to have those things, but in order to hold on to those things and build that, you have to release the desires that have entrapped you, right? Into this instant pleasure, which is more of the Scorpio vibe. We're letting go of instant pleasures. We want to see which pleasures are so instant that we shouldn't be feeding them anymore with our Venus energy, with our mind. Okay? Uranus is there to help you really change this. So, you know, you want to be able to live that life. We all do. You want to be able to have enough money where you know that you can spend it because you're dedicated to your purpose, your calling, your work, and you love what you do instead of hate it, so that it's not draining you every day. It's actually giving you more values, more morals to live by. It's giving you more money in the long term. And I don't want to make it all about money, but when we see ourselves releasing our root chakra energy from the root, right, which is momentary one-night stands, for example. You go out to a bar, maybe not anymore, right? You swipe on Tinder and you meet somebody and you have sex, and for those moments you feel like you're doing something, like you're accomplishing something, but the next day you feel like trash, right? So how do you not give in to that? Because when you give in to that, what's happening is all that beautiful energy that's here to help you make these videos and put them up on this side and get noticed by people that you are like-minded like you, and share those spaces and those conversations with people that can help you grow. Instead of that, you're releasing all that energy that got built up here straight out of here, and it goes out around you for demons to come and feed on it. And I mean that literally. I mean that literally, right? When you sustain that energy, you breathe in and you bring it up to your crown and you breathe out with your mouth closed. You could store that energy back into your body. It's called a chi breath. You should look it up. And when you store your energy constantly and you take care of your body, which is Taurus, right? The material world, the matrix, this matrix that we create for ourselves, right? The things we manifest, which is very representative of Taurus and Scorpio, then those manifestations get bigger and better. Those manifestations get brighter, and the shadow, right? When we pull the energy up, it's like a ball of light. It's like a sun, and that sun ascends past our crown chakra like midday 12 in the day, right? When the sun is at its peak and there is no shadow around you, because that shadow is fully inside of you now, right? You have to learn how to tame that shadow. So it's not outside, you're not feeding it, but it is inside of you. You have the sun illuminating your body and your essence and your aura. So, okay. I do want to mention, so right now, as of the 21st, moon's in Leo. Tomorrow, the moon goes into Virgo on the 22nd, right? So on the 22nd, moon's in Virgo until the 24th. And this is when we have all of the earth activated now. Taurus, we have a bunch of stuff in Taurus that I just mentioned. We have Capricorn energy with Pluto, and then we have the moon transiting Virgo, which is feeling us into those small little details of things that we can shift through, right? So our shifting starts now, not waiting for the full moon to do a ritual and then that is all. Of course, that is extremely powerful to do, but you want to start now. So my thing for you guys to do, right, my homework or whatever you want to call it, spiritual work, is from the 22nd to the 24th. And if you don't get to do it on those days, it's fine, and do it before the full moon or do it after if you're watching this later. No matter what, it's powerful. But right now it'll be very powerful to detail which desires do you feel stuck in? Which desires are you looping around over and over and over again that you absolutely know you have to change, because there's no denying the channels that we're receiving right now with Uranus and Mercury and the Sun and Taurus showing us what areas are we physically stuck in, right? Is it your addiction to sugar? Is it your addiction to your toxic partner or your fear of being alone? Really be real with yourself and just list those things out, okay? List those things out. Then after the 24th, we're going to be in Moon and Libra energy, and this is going to be very fruitful as well, because if you list these things out before the energy goes, the moon goes into Libra and activates all the air in the sky, right? Which is the North Node in Gemini, which is Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. Saturn will be a little easier on you. Jupiter will want to gift you a new set of knowledge that now you've opened up, you've cleaned with the Virgo energy, cleaned room in your mind for. So now you're either going to end up having a really good discussion with somebody, right? Somebody that motivates you, somebody that gives you life, and you'll be able to see a part of your brain that has not been working, and you'll be able to successfully reprogram that within yourself by checking yourself in those moments. When the moon is in Libra during the 24th, 25th, 26th, you really want to take advantage of speaking the affirmation now, right? You made a list of the things, the desires, the root chakra energy that you've been giving away, that you've been looping in, that don't give you externally long-lasting things, that only give you instant pleasures. Now when the moon is in Libra, you're speaking the affirmations as well as writing the affirmations of what is more desirable to you. What would you rather desire? Would you rather desire having a workout routine, you know, yoga? Would you rather desire drinking a green juice every day so you can feel a little bit more natural energy in your body? It's not about changing it all. It's just about speaking the affirmations right now so that you can start to implant that into your brain with all this air energy and create a little vortex of air around you that are going to bring in the people and the energy and the attraction, because this, once again, this whole axis towards Scorpio is about attracting, right, these experiences, right? You can attract the lover that you want by speaking it into existence. We cannot fuck around right now, especially with that in those few days when the moon's in Libra, since all the air is activated and that is the breath of life, that is our words. We cannot fuck around with the things we say. If we say things around those days like, oh, I'm addicted to this, I can't let this go, I can't let the coffee go, then I promise you in the next 6 months, it's going to be ingrained in your mind that you can't. And this is where all your power is at as well, right? Well, you have power in every single chakra. So this is how we're starting to pull on those desires inside of our body upwards instead of just release, release, release. It's even, and I will say this, it is even favorable to save your sexual orgasmic energy from now until the full moon. And if you really save and you don't release at all, right? You don't climax, you don't orgasm. On the full moon, you can orgasm with this new heightened sense of a better place to put your passion. And you will start to call in such higher energy. So it is paramount to kind of keep that energy to yourself, right? And the demons, you're gonna hear them. They're gonna be in your body talking about, but I want to eat that, and I don't want to go to bed yet, and we're gonna keep you up all night until you jack off. Like, that's what they do. So you make up all these excuses, and when the moon's in Libra, you want to see how much excuses you're making up in your head, and check yourself every time. It's just 3 days. You could do it. It's just 3 days. Check yourself every time. You don't have to be perfect, right? But when you check yourself, that's your reprogramming. Because the truth is, we have all these different characters that we've made up throughout our lives, in our minds, in our bodies, in our hearts, in our guts. We have all these different demons, angels, whatever, forces, entities that we've made up. And the mistake that we make is we respond to them. The truth of meditation is you don't respond to any of them. You just listen. And then when you just listen, they stop talking because no one's talking to them. But in this few days, you want to check them, right? You want to tell them, no, that's not actually how I feel. I actually do want to create a business that makes me 6 figures, that I run on my own, you know, that I'm not hustling completely day in and day out to accomplish. How do we get there, right? And you want to ask also in these days the universe for guidance. The best time of the day to ask for guidance is the witching hours, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning to like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, right? Right before people usually get up. These are the times that you want to ask the universe for the most help, because the veil is the thinnest and the channel is on. But okay, so ask for what you want from the universe, for steps to help you get rid of these desires and speak on the true desires that you wish to have. You wish that you wanted to eat clean versus eat the crap, right? So talk about it when the moon's in Libra. All right, then on the 26th, 27th, we have that full moon root chakra release in Scorpio. And instead of getting into too much stuff on what to do, if you want a personal understanding of what to do, I have a shadow work 30-minute consultation on Clairside Consulting, right? You can check my profile and I will make a recording for you, pull some cards after you let me know what your issues are, and I will devise a ritual for you, right? Because rituals to me are so personal. They're not all the same for everyone. We have to really kind of make it our own in order for it to be the most powerful. So I won't give you away a ritual for everybody, but I do want to pull some cards, and I want to pull some cards for each sign, starting with Aries, as I set up my shungite to absorb all the hating vibes, if there are any. But nah, I love y'all. I think there's some dope people in here. There's only amazing people that watch. And for anyone else, you know, we're gonna tell them to fuck off in real Scorpio fashion. But okay. So this is my blank natal chart that I do shifting sessions on, and I pull all my cards on. And because I do shifting sessions, I'm going to give you a little preview of what that looks like for every sign. I'm going to help you identify the area that you currently can shift through in the next 2 weeks when it comes up. And then you will feel and see a significant change. Now, these are micro shifts, because the truth is, you can't just wake up in the morning in a new place, right? We're still bound to time and the earth. So you have to be very consciously aware of all the micro shifts that happen in your life and all of the symbolism and all of the synchronicities in order to successfully continue to get to that place you want to go. So for Aries, what is the micro shit that you need to be aware of? For all my Aries, what is it that they can do to get closer to the life they want to live, to release their desires that do not serve them? Okay, Seven of Swords in the 3rd and 4th house. I wish I could show you, right? Seven of Swords, 3rd and 4th. So there's a lot to do with you lying to yourself, Aries. There's a lot to do with the way that you're projecting yourself to be to others that you are not, because you haven't quite figured it out yet. And, you know, Aries is the sign of identity. So you guys really harp on knowing yourself and putting it out there, but there's a little something telling me that you guys are so caught up on what you say you are and who you say you are, that you're actually losing yourself more because of it. And it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know where to go. It's okay not to know. It's okay to just take your Libra sister sign advice and just say, yeah, I haven't made up my mind yet. I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't know what I'm going to dedicate myself to for the rest of this year. I don't know where I feel safe, 4th house, you know. It's okay if you are in a place that you don't necessarily feel safe. You want to keep your true feelings to yourself because they're not fully developed yet. So for you, your next shifting point is to, when you get pressed, right, by somebody outside of you to define who you are and define what you want to do. If you're go to a family party and your family's like, yeah, so like, what are you going to do with your life? And are you going to graduate college? And what are you going to be? It's like, just say, I don't know. This might sound like a little contradictory. How do you shift through perspectives? By saying you don't know things. Because you're being authentic to what you internally really feel. And it's, you don't know. And that is perfectly okay. So yeah, don't let the cat out the bag for Aries, right? Keep it to yourself. It's still developing, and that's okay. Now for Taurus, something already fell out. So for Taurus, Knight of Coins, right? Knight of Coins in the 2nd house. So 2nd house, which is originally Taurus's house, and it is Taurus season. What are you investing in? Your next shifting session is to buy that book that, you know, is about a higher knowledge, or take a class that where you get to learn about a skill that you've been thinking about, like, oh, I need to do that, you know, I need to invest my mind and some of my money into learning about herbs and taking a herbalism class or course, or I need to invest a little more into my diet, so I need to go to the store and buy a blender and buy a food processor, and I need to dump out all the rest of the stuff. This is about putting your money where your mouth is. This is about, you know, especially because you guys have that stellium in Taurus right now. It's about signing up for that yoga class or that dance class or whatever it is that you're feeling like, oh yeah, I gotta do this. And maybe you're like, I don't know if I want to put my money there right now. It might be a waste. No, it's not a waste. Okay, even if it's the last money in your account, put it into a place where you're gonna learn something that you're investing, right? And it could be about matters of business too. Like, have you been slacking on your own personal business desires? Is there something you need to buy for your business? Is there something you need to put out there more and, you know, invest more in? Do you make a craft and you need to get more supplies? Well, do that right now. Do that for this full moon in Scorpio, because these are the desires you want to invest in. Okay, so stay away from trying to put your money into desires that, you know, like that 3rd bottle of wine. You know what I mean? Maybe don't buy that 3rd bottle of wine to unwind, and maybe buy something that's gonna help your mind, you know. And like I said, invest in a class. That's what I keep getting. Like, there's something you need to learn. There's somewhere you need to put your money for the future, not for now. So whatever you end up putting your money in, you're gonna see the benefits of this more like 3, 4 to 6 months down the line of this year. This is your next shifting point, okay? So put your money where your mouth is, what you keep saying that you're here to do, what you already know that you need to do. All right, and let's move on. Gemini. What's your next shifting points? Okay, you got 2 cards for Gemini. You guys are lucky. I'll let it rock. So the 12th house and the 1st house. Ooh. 12th house, 1st house. You got 8 of Swords and Strength. So 8 of Swords, which is so vastly different from the Strength card. What does that mean for you? So 12th house, your subconscious, your dreams, the places that you need help in healing, right? There's help that you need, Gemini. There's absolutely, you need to reach out to somebody, someplace, something on your mind that you know they have the tools, they can hold your hand, they can lead you into seeing who you truly are right now. 1st house, right? And you absolutely need to not get caught up in your pride, but you understand that you asking for help is strength. You need to ask for help. Some kind of area of your life. It's going to come up from now till this full moon in Scorpio. And it could be small. Remember, micro shifts. It could be so small. You could be like, wake up in the morning and it's like, I have no energy, like, you know, mom or sis or roommate, can you make me breakfast? Can you please take me to the airport on this day? Can you help me figure out my, you know, my dreams? If it is 12th house and it's stuff that you're not realizing, it's releasing these things. Maybe it's just straight up a conversation that you need to have about your biggest fear around what you're doing right now. What is it that you're doing right now? And what is it that's freaking you out about it? And talk about it. And really put yourself out there and show people that you're strong enough to admit the stuff that isn't going right, the stuff that hurts, because that's where you're going to shift next, okay? Interesting, Gemini. Okay. Cancer. Let's see. Cancer. Almost. Nothing came out. You see, when stuff like that happens, interesting, but it still didn't fall. That was the star, though. Cancer. Okay. 1 fell out. There we go. So, 11th and 12th house, and it's 6 of Wands. 11th and 12th house. So, kind of similar to Gemini, except for there is, for Cancer, there is a family or a network or a group of people that are trying to show you and support you by pushing you. And this might be coming off as, you know, you go back into your shell, you want to hide, you kind of want to like scurry away into the hole somewhere because so many people are pushing you. But here's the thing, when you have a whole group of people telling you that you have something to work on, that you need to think about this, that you need to go down this avenue of life, then you need to listen, okay? You need to listen right now. These people in this card, they love you. They want to see you win. They want to see you win. That's what this card is about. They want to carry you to success, but you're getting heavy. You're getting really heavy for the people around you. So they're about to buckle and fall too, unless you go, you know what, y'all? Take me where I need to go. Sign me up for therapy or whatever the hell. And do it. The people around you, you might not be feeling it, but they actually give a fuck about you. They really do. So instead of playing victim, which 12th house, you know, you kind of could be isolating yourself or allowing yourself to think that you need to isolate when you absolutely don't. You do need to be around these people, and you need to you need to lie back. You know, he's lying back and crowd surfing basically, or floating in the water. You need to surrender. You need to surrender to the advice that is being thrown your way. It might feel overwhelming. You might be like, who the fuck are these people and what the fuck do they know? But they actually do know something. They've been observing you. And they really want you to win. So take the advice from your collective, from your family, from your friends, like, you know, from that internet group of friends that you have, from whatever. Take the advice, especially if it offends you. That's how you know. This is your shifting point. Take the advice. Okay. Okay, Leos. Wow, okay. Leos fell out in the 7th and the 8th house. Oh, and it's 10 of coins. I like that. 7th, 8th house, right? 8th house being traditionally Scorpio. I think Leos, they're realizing now how long it takes to get what they want and how long it takes to build this bougie lifestyle, right? Because let's just put it out there. Leos live a bougie lifestyle even when they like have nothing. Even when they're quote unquote poor, they somehow get granted access to like luxury life because you guys are motherfucking royalty, right? But you're realizing that it takes a long time though to manifest the love and the deep fulfillment and passion that you're looking for, because absolutely, you know, you've been working on this for so long, and I just find this a good sign to say that you have been working, that you have been putting yourself in the place where you know that it's going to take a long time, you know that patience is required, and you've been making small investments, and now all this is saying is to keep that shit up, right? Keep that shit up. Keep up with your small investments, and allow other people to kind of peek into your desires as well. Be a little bit more, because you've built such a solid foundation now. My mind moves so fast that I just jumble words. Because you've built this solid foundation, you can now let people in, right? You can now show people your foundation that you've built. Speak on your inner love for yourself more, right? Get rid of the narrative that there is lack. If anywhere that you see, this is your shifting point. If anywhere in this, from now till this full moon, you see that you're speaking a word or an affirmation of lack, I never get this, I will never see this come into my life, etc., etc., you need to reroute that big time. And you need to look at your foundation and say, no, I already have that for myself. And it's going to take me time, but I'm going to get more of it. Okay? That's what you absolutely need to do. And show other people, these are the things that I'm working on. This is what I really want. This is absolutely what I see happening in my life. I see myself building this network of people that are all supporting each other and living in a commune. And I only have the dream of getting the land. And I'm only going to, you know, and I have this amount of money in my bank account, but I don't know who I'm going to be living with on this commune yet. But I want to meet those people. You know, talk about your desires now, because you've built a foundation which other people can't really tip you off of. They can either add to it or it'll just pass them by. Because right now, as you shift, you're going to be able to now pull in those people and go, oh, I recognize you're a part of this vision. I recognize you're a part of this wealth. But you need to speak on it a little bit more. And on this Scorpio full moon, invite some people if you can around you to be a part of your ritual, and go out and have that social like time, maybe one-on-one with somebody that you really trust, and just make it a good time. Don't make it about lack. Make it about abundance. That's your shifting point. Let's go to Virgo. Okay. Virgo. What's your shifting point? Virgo. Let me know. Virgo. Okay. There we are. So, 12th house. 12th house. Wow. 10 of Cups in the 12th house. Look at that. There is something and or probably someone in your life that you don't realize is perfectly meant for you. And let's say this is romantic, because classically that's what this is. You haven't switched your perspective yet to realize, right? And you're gonna get a chance to. You're gonna look at somebody new, or you're gonna look at something new from now till the full moon in Scorpio. And all you have to do is acknowledge it. That's all. To bring it out of that 12th house and to bring it into your first, all you have to do is acknowledge it, even if you don't make no plans. Like, you know, it's a friend that you've had, or somebody that you work with, for example, and you just never thought that they like you, or you never even thought of them that way, but all of a sudden you kind of just step into work and the light is shining on their face and you're like, wait a second, why do I feel this thing? And then you realize that you felt it all along, that there was a lot of love that had to be hidden from you in order for you to develop it naturally. Because if you would have known that you have love for this passion, for this thing, for this person, then you would have effed it up. Then you would have overthought it, right? So don't overthink it when you feel it. When you feel it, know this is your synchronicity to show you to open up to it, to just acknowledge it. And if that's acknowledging a person, you know, by just saying, hey, you look beautiful today, because you've never told them that before, and just see what happens. Right? It's very simple, this one. This is a good sign as well. You guys have a lot to bring in. Let's say this is work though, right? And all of a sudden somebody hits you up for something that you don't really provide in your services, but they're like, yeah, I really want you to like do my lashes, or I really want you to wax my armpit or something. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, like, yeah, I'll do that. And then you oddly are like, wow, this is easy. This is the shit. I can make a shit ton of money. This actually fulfills me because I don't have to work a 9 to 5 no more. I can just wax armpits. I know that's a weird analogy, but I feel like Virgos would understand that. Okay. What's next? Libra. What's up for Libra? Oh. Okay. 8 of Swords for Libra in the 1st and the 2nd house. So there are worries and there are doubts, right, that don't align to your desires and your potential, because you absolutely know that those things are meant for you, but you're still holding yourself back from speaking it. And I'll speak from my experience. I'm a Libra, and I think sometimes I get way too caught up in the, like, is this going to be the right thing, the right kind of video to upload? You know, this is my first video on mystical illumination since my intro, and there's a lot of crazier things that I would love to talk about, but sometimes I high-key overthink it. But these ideas in your head that you feel like is so much, you need to slow down. You need to take each sword off one by one, tackle one of those ideas, one of them. Just tackle one of those ideas, because this is your foundation, your 2nd house. This is who you are, your 1st house, and you need to take your sister sign advice and be more like an Aries and just do it. Okay, just talk about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm practicing that myself right now. And that's all. And that's all. You have so much opportunity to keep gaining abundance, but it is overwhelming, and that is okay. Work on one, ignore the rest. Fuck a timeline. It's your timeline, and you will shift gradually this way. So take out one of these swords and then replace that with a period of rest. So it's important to get something done and then celebrate that accomplishment, even if it's small. This is your next shifting point. Now we go to Scorpios. It's your full moon. What's up? Okay, Scorpios. We got Ace of Swords in the 4th house. Beautiful. What does that mean? Ace of Swords in the 4th house, right? This means that you have a lot of power in your cave. You know, I know you Scorpios know about your cave. You know, you set up your sacred place at home or somewhere, and maybe you've been getting violated at home. I know some Scorpios that have been, and you have all the power now to reroute that, but you have to come from a place of love. You absolutely have to come from a place of nurturing, but it's because you're nurturing yourself. You're deciding that in these 2 weeks that this is the best thing to remove from my scenario, because I am using my heart too much for others and I need to use it for myself. And I love me and I love my space. So after 8 p.m., I'm turning my phone off and I'm not going to talk to my family every Saturday or every day or whatever, because it's stressful, you know, at home, because you spend so much time within your cave. You may overdo it as well too, and you may allow too many energies and too many things to mix with your sacredness. And this is getting back to your sacredness before yourself. Now, a lot of people think Scorpios don't give a fuck about nobody, but the truth is they have huge hearts, and the people that they do care about, they hold them so tightly in their heart. They never let them go, and they can do no wrong. But the truth is, allow others to make mistakes and say, hey, those mistakes have nothing to do with me. I didn't do anything to deserve any of this. I didn't do anything to make these bad things happen around me. So I'm just going to remove myself and I'm going to give it back to me. It's really about forgiveness. This I feel like has a lot to do with forgiveness, and it's really about forgiving yourself for putting up with a lot of bullshit, probably, right? Because there's a part of you that desires having that harmonious environment too, and you might overdo things just because you feel like, oh, no one's gonna do this for you, so let me do this for you because I love you so much. You know, you're my brother, you're my mom, you're my father, whatever. But it's about saying like, hey, no, I just need to do this for me, and I need a breather, and that's cool. Forgive though, forgive. So your shifting point is forgiveness. Who needs forgiveness? Is it you? Is it somebody else for like moving on from your life? Do they need to be forgiven? Is it a lover? So we're gonna put this one away. Okay, so for Sagittarius, you guys got justice in the first house. Interesting. Justice in the first house, a little bit of the second. So you are about to be reconciled in terms of your money. If you can be serious about what is righteous to you. If you can start to live in your righteousness, right? I think that sometimes with Sagittarius, you can be so about the fun and the adventure that you let go sometimes of your morals and values, especially because you guys have that luck and you could kind of get away with anything. But this is saying that, hey, yeah, sure, you could get away with anything in terms of externally. Other people won't shoot you down for it. Other people won't hurt you for it. But you know where it's going to hurt? Inside of you. You know where it's going to hurt? In your manifestation abilities. When you're trying to acquire that wealth, when you're trying to up-level your life, you're going to see that that justice, those scales are going to come back down on you because you didn't live righteous to who you know you really are, to what your value system really is. So really think about your value system, and you're going to get presented with an opportunity to go both ways, to be like, oh, this time I could cheat a little, you know, or this is not who I am. This is not how I want to build my life, because you're getting this big shifting point to build off of the right things for you, right? Those things are subjective to everybody, but what is righteous for you? Don't slip up in these next few weeks. You know, Scorpio energy too is so like taboo and interesting that a lot of the times the Sagittarius, right, which Sagittarius 12 houses is Scorpio, so they might want to dive in those waters, and that is okay unless if it aligns with your value system, your righteousness, what is right for you. Do that, or this karmic scale is gonna blow up in your face this time, probably from external matters, which it usually doesn't. You guys can get away with a lot, but this time you're not gonna get away with it. So keep that in mind, Sagittarius. Okay, almost done, guys. We got Capricorn. Capricorn, 5 of Swords, and the 12th and first house. We got a lot of 12th house, first house energy. No surprise, there's a lot of diving deep within. And this 5 of Swords is showing you, like, where have you Where have you realized that you shunned some people out of your life just because you wanted the control, right? Just because there's a big rerouting in your control. Pluto is still in Capricorn. And right now in the next few days, you're going to feel it, especially. I feel like your shift is right now in these next few days. You're going to have the opportunity to assert your dominance in a area. And you want to realize that you need to be asserting your dominance more within yourself, 12th house, right? For your healing. You need to assert your dominance in your own healing. I hope that makes sense. Do not display asserting your dominance outside of yourself. You're going to hurt some people unintentionally. You're going to realize that you don't mean that shit. It was just a power play for yourself so you can kind of feel good in the moment. Your next shifting session or point or shift is to look out for when you feel like you need to assert that dominance outside of you, and let it be. Please, let the people be. If they're doing something that doesn't align with you, if they're sleeping on the clock, let it be. Just let it be. Let it be. Please, let it be. Turn it back inwards and go, okay, according to my healing now, where can I be a little bit more dominant? You know, because right now, you guys are really healing your mind. You guys are healing your mind in huge ways. And you're seeing all of the bad gunk come up, and you're seeing and feeling into the light on the other side. So it's a healing from within moment for you guys, and in dominance. And in what ways in your life have you slipped on your own dominance, right? By projecting it outwards. And if you didn't project it outwards, where would you feel like, damn, like, I guess I lost control in this area. I guess I lost control on my schedule or my whatever, you know? Think about that. Okay. Aquarius. Aquarius. The Notorious song came in my head. Oh, the Tower in the 3rd and the 4th. Okay, big changes. This is a big shift. This is a shift that makes you feel like, yeah, you're losing something. And it's dramatic. And it might not even hurt. Maybe it doesn't hurt, but this also almost feels like a necessary loss of control within your home or your community. Basically, something that has been long overdue in you, blocks and a structure, just a structure of the way you lived your life is changing now, because you've overcame, and you deserve the peace, and you deserve to be around people that just get it, that you don't have to fight at all. And some of those people are going to leave and exit your life within these few weeks. And it's because they take your creative root chakra energy. They take your chakra and they don't do anything productive with it. Instead, they waste their time arguing with you, debating you, or trying to tear you down. So this is you watching. This is not really you falling down. This is you watching towers fall down around you, while knowing that it's not your job. It's not your job to save these people from these towers. That's the shifting session for you. Watching someone fall and knowing that you can't pick them up, and that you're not there to. And that it is going to change the way you feel about yourself at home, the way you feel about yourself on a regular basis, because you won't have to deal with whatever this is anymore. Interesting. All right. Last but not least, Pisces. And we're approaching the hour. I don't know how these things go for so long. So, last but never least, the most magical sign, Pisces. so many things on a flip. Oh, you also got 2 cards in the 7th house. 7th house energy, relationship. Page of Cups and 6 of Coins. Interesting. So for Pisces, you guys might meet someone new, or there is a small chunk of resources or change, money maybe, that is coming your way in these next 2 weeks. Opportunity that seems small with a person or a place or a thing, and if you take this opportunity, it is going to provide. It is going to provide. And it requires you to be in your childlike essence. So in the next 2 weeks, I invite you to bring out your inner child and let your inner child play, and see who your inner child gets attracted to play with, or who gets attracted to your inner child. And then whatever you get from that, right, is an opportunity for you to save big time, for you to gain and add to your savings, right? Your wealth of love inside of yourself, bettering your relationship if you're in one. It's allowing your inner child to come out to play with your partner and keep building that foundation of currency between you and this one person that you're going to get attracted to, or that is attracted to you. That is your shifting point. So that's all. So I'll end with an oracle for everybody, for my starseed deck, one of my favorite decks. And just remember, we're releasing root chakra blockages. We are getting rid of some of the desires that we have accumulated, that we've been looping on for a century. And the rest of the energy, that new creative energy that we're going to be creating, we're going to keep it within ourselves. We're going to bring it to a higher place within our minds. We're going to understand it on a higher level, and we're going to have the opportunity to sustain that. Inner Earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. This is beautiful. Inner Earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and new beginnings, right? New solutions and new beginnings. So we're going to leave it at that. If you want to book a session with me before this full moon, check below. You can find me on Instagram and Razzie if you want to follow my art journey and all the rest of the stuff I do. I make jewelry as well, and I'll be coming out with a lot more fully charged pieces for you guys. And yeah, I'm also going to come out with a new service soon on Clairsite that will be for the children, since that's one of my things that I focus on a lot. And I would love to read the charts of your children's. This is for the parents, so that you guys can really understand how to best raise your child, what things to look out for. And yeah, thank you so much. You guys are beautiful. Infinite love and peace.